Hello and welcome to Burwell Community Radio. I'm Dave Price. Today we have got the Dirty Scoundrels in with us, and to actually talk about it is one of the band members. It's in Leadbeater.
Hello.
How are you doing? You all right?
I'm fine. I'm all good. Thank you very much.
If we're going to dive straight into this, because we've got a lot to cover here, a lot to cover. Just going from where you first started, how did you get involved in music and playing instruments, singing, things like that?
So, well, I've had a guitar for many a year, but hardly ever played it. It's one of those things you have in the corner of the room and just look at it occasionally and think you can be a rock star. And then I think it's about 2008, I just moved to the village, and I thought, well, there's a night school course going on at the college. So I enrolled for guitar, and that's where I met Mark Galbraith, the other fellow scoundrel. So then we decided we thought we could actually write some songs instead of just doing covers, and it just went from there. We went to the Five Bells and there was an open mic night, and there was a guy there singing, and he was quite proud of this song he'd written himself. But all the lyrics was "I love you, I love you, I love you," and I said to Mark, I think we can do better. And that's how Mark is an engineer by trade. He's very precise, a very good musician, knows music theory. He plays guitar very well. Whereas I'm probably better at actually writing songs. And so that's how it works. I tend to write the basic song, send the demo to Mark, and then Mark sort of records all the instruments, the percussion, the guitar, and that sort of stuff. And the beauty also, Burwell's got a lot of talented people in the village, and on our albums there's I'm sure a lot of people know Big Doug Stewart, who plays saxophone, so he joins us on a few tracks, and Sal Hunter, a very good violin player as well, and she joins us and puts some nice haunting violin on some of the tracks. Nice. So, talking about going on to the music, your first CD, 2009, Dusty Road. Dusty Road, yeah.
And what's it all about?
Well, I have a reputation in the folk club of writing pretty miserable songs, and this was an album very much full of miserable songs. All came really from the credit crunch. I worked in the building industry, and I saw one of our main offices shut down. A lot of good people lost their jobs, and the album very much reflected that. So
in 2017, you released the album Ride With Me. The single Take Me was seen as also Doug on saxophone,
it was,
receiving radio play. The album had a bit more upbeat feel to it.
It was, I wanted to get away really from this depressing sort of stuff, and it was inspired being a biker. The whole concept really was the sort of the idea of being in the open air on a motorbike and riding around. It was very much sort of that sort of feel to it, so far more upbeat. This year,
moving quickly up here, you recorded a new album called Clear Light. But due to obviously COVID and everything else that's gone in the world, you've delayed the release.
It was a really upbeat album. It is an upbeat album. I don't think there's one depressing song on it, I think, and we just didn't think it was the right time either. It was for Alzheimer research for the charity, and people just don't appear to be giving a lot of money to charities at the moment, and it's just a bad time to do it.
I'm talking about, as you said, miserable. Got this lockdown sessions, as you called it, which isn't going to be an album as such, is it?
No, it's on YouTube. It all came about from a trip to Tesco's, and this is just when it was all starting to sort of happen, if you like. I was horrified when I went to Tesco's and just realised that there was nothing on the shelves. No toilet paper, no paracetamol, and it was just greed and crazy.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
And so I wrote the song called "The World's Gone Mad." It's an acoustic. It's just a piano and a very haunting electric guitar solo, and it just seemed fitting for the times, really.
I noticed here on the notes that you've got here in brackets "no loo paper" in capital letters. Is that in the song by any chance?
I don't think I specify loo paper, but certainly the lack of produce on the shelves is in the lyrics. Yeah. I drive down the road with the
strange sense of despair. Nothing going on apart from queues at the stores. The aisles are so empty, with greed at the core. Wanna get home, I put my fist through the wall. It's like one big nightmare, one which will not end. I wanna hold you close and close all the doors. When will it end? When will it end? I tell you, darling, the world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. The world's gone mad.
That's World's Gone Mad. You're listening to Burwell Community Radio. I'm Dave Price, and at the moment we're talking to Ian Leadbeater from the Dirty Scoundrels about his lockdown sessions. Him and Mark. Oh, how do you pronounce his last name? Galbraith. Right. Okay. I knew. It's always whenever I start talking about bands and things like that, and I go into names and that, there's always one name which I can. You're never ever sure.
Galbraith.
Galbraith. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's nice and easy. Right, so we've just heard World's Gone Mad on the lockdown sessions. The second track, which is all about a failed bank robbery.
Yes. Where do I get them from? I've no idea, but it's called The Sting. People who are listening to this who know me very much know I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, and more of his songwriting really. And I guess it was I was trying to get a song sort of like from the Nebraska album, that sort of feel to it. So again, it's very bleak. Storytelling is what I'm trying to do, and it's just about a failed bank robbery.
Gonna say there's no backstory from your past.
Not at all.
Okay,
I'm a little angel.
You take your chances in life, which way to go? I took the wrong turn, I paid the toll. People keep asking where I've been. I can't look in their eyes and answer them. I took the wrong road, baby. One that took me away. I took the wrong road, baby. The one that took my soul away.
So that's The Sting on the lockdown sessions from the Dirty Scoundrels. Now, Ian, on to the next one, Civvy Street.
Yeah, this is, again, I have no military connection at all. It's not in my family. But I've written about 3 songs now about various, and they're not political songs at all. It's just about people and storytelling again. So no views on if war is right or wrong. But this was really about mental health issues for the servicemen coming back from Afghanistan and trying to adapt into civilian life. So, again, just purely storytelling.
Okay, so you say it's just a case of there's no background, and you're not going on anybody's stories or
not at all.
Like that, 'cause
not at all.
I know that a lot of singers go through either their own personal experience, or they know of someone that they've come across over the years.
Only from what you hear in the news. I think you just try to become when you're doing or trying to write a song, just become that character. You know, you just have to have empathy with it, but you don't necessarily need that personal experience, I don't think.
I was just a private trying to do my job. Not sure who was fighting or what the hell for. Well, I made it home and like Jim and Charles. My wife has left me no heroes. Welcome at all. Well, I'm walking down Savvy Street. Well, I'm walking down Savvy Street. Well, I'm walking down Savvy Street. I'm walking down Savvy Street.
So, song number 4 on the lockdown sessions. It's the first drink of the day.
Yes, I haven't got a drink problem, but again, it's just trying to become that character, who relies on alcohol. And I guess we've all been drinking probably a little bit too much through lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly. And so that was the idea for that song. That one actually was written a long time ago. It wasn't written during the lockdown. It's one which I just wrote, and we never really found a place for it, to be fair.
Okay. And you say, well, obviously, you're sitting here. I mean, you mentioned him before we went on air with this, that any of these songs could actually appear in any of your future albums.
They could do, yeah. I mean, I think they're fairly good songs, to be honest. Just didn't fit anything we've done in the past, and just sort of good time to actually record them and take it from there, really. So
okay.
they could appear on future releases, who knows?
At any point.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
7 in the morning and the alarm's giving me grief. Still in my working clothes, but no need to change. Go and get some breakfast, see a bottle on the floor. Been there all night, guarding me from this world. First drink of the day. Keeps those demons away. I just can't wait to taste the first drink of the day. Day, 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 day. I see an empty glass staring at me. Oh, those memories I have traded away. But one thing is for sure, I couldn't make it through without some help from a friend like you. First drink of the day. Keeps those demons away.
So if you've just literally tuned in, you are listening to Burwell Community Radio. We are speaking to Ian from the Dirty Scoundrels. We're going through the lockdown sessions, and we've got to number, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got to number 5. It's a song called Games about a failed relationship.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's not I haven't written it from a personal perspective. It's just purely I think there's no songs here really in the list which a couple about relationships, and this was just again just to go with the feeling of lockdown and depression, really.
I suppose you see, I suppose subliminally you don't think of anybody or yourself, in say for instance this example is failed relationships. But I suppose if you go around over the years and you see people get together and you break up, I suppose it sort of goes in.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So let's hear that.
I remember the first time we met. The sun was out and I was high. We went to see a movie. Can't really remember what was on. Just remember your smile. Things went really fast. You moved into my flat, and it was really cool.
So the next one we've got, Can It Get Any Worse? Now, considering we're in, October now, 2020, and what's happened for the last, 6-7 months, can it get any worse?
Well,
over to you.
Well, let's hope not. But this is a song called Hey Fred. And again, this was written a bit ago, and it's written about as a ghost of one of the victims of Fred West. So,
right, where were you in my time when you actually thought of the lyrics to this song? I just, I'm not taking a mic or anything, but it's just like, I don't know where to start on this one. Carry on anyway. Go on.
So I'll tell you, when I sort of came up with the list of the songs we recorded, and this is probably the most. Unsurprisingly, the most depressing. So it is a song about Fred West, and again, just telling the story from the point of view of one of his victims, basically.
Okay, which yeah, let's just play the song. Right.
Hey Fred, you got something to say to all those people's lives you took away. Hey Fred, do you turn in your grave, thinking of all the sorrow and all the pain? I think you must have one hard life, doing the things even the devil would not advise. So as you lay underground, I guess you're haunted from the angels flying round. So what you got to say for taking all those souls away?
So we've gone from a song about serial killers to Fred West to the next one that's on your list, which is all about an innocent man in prison.
Oh dear. I know.
You've written these perfectly here, haven't you?
Yeah. So this one, this actually comes from an experience of having a business meeting, actually in prison. I had to visit Lincoln Prison. I'm originally from Lincoln, but thank goodness not a resident of the prison. But I went there on business, and the actual thought which comes to your mind was you go through the big gates, the big Victorian prison, and they shut the gates. And I was only in there for half an hour, but I was just thinking, can you imagine being locked away, and especially if you're innocent? So that's the idea of this song. Again, this was written quite a bit ago. It never really didn't fit really the albums we've done in the past. So we thought it's an ideal opportunity to get it recorded.
It's getting late, babe. Things are calm, but I see these walls closing in. I got your picture in my hand, thinking of all the good times we had. But this ain't the best place to think too much. You just gotta stay alive. I keep my head down and never look.
So let's keep the faith. You're listening to the Dirty Scoundrels here on Burwell Community Radio. We're interviewing in Leadbeater from the group. It's a duo, and they're both from Burwell. And they've Ian's been here, if I remember right. You said you've been here since 2008 in the village.
That sort of time.
Yeah. No, that's quite a long time. So it's 12 years. Wow. Yeah. I've been here since 2001, and it just